Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most heartbreaking deaths in British soaps.
I could only say it to you.
For this list, we'll be looking at a few of the saddest goodbyes in UK soap history. Which character's death hit you the hardest? Number 10, Ashley succumbs to dementia. Emmerdale. The Reverend Ashley Thomas arrived in Emmerdale in 1996 and quickly became an integral part of the community.
What's hurting? What's there? Another pillow. I'll get you one from upstairs, okay?
He married Laurel in 2011. Together they had their share of heartbreak, including the loss of a baby. In 2012, Ashley lost his wife, his job and his home after it was revealed that he had been abusive towards his elderly father. He and Laurel slowly rebuilt their friendship, but in 2015, the vicar was diagnosed with early onset dementia. He died 2 years later, after a slow decline that left him with no memory of his family. In his final moments, he remembered Laurel, who was at his bedside at the end.
You're home now, Ashley. With your family.
Number 9, Jack Naylor's last episode. Holby City. Holby City came to an end in March 2022, after 23 years on the air. To reflect the sadness felt by viewers, the final episode revolved around a major character's death. Jack Naylor had been a series regular since 2005 and was diagnosed with a brain tumour in 2021. Despite her efforts to find a cure, the hospital was unable to prevent her deterioration. She died after suffering a stroke.
Gotta go.
The audience bore witness to the beginning of the organ donation procedure, and Jack was able to save multiple lives as a result. The show's final moments featured an overhead monologue from the character, detailing the meaning and importance of the NHS.
Who's the donor?
Lung.
We're not supposed to know.
Number 8, Sam helps Alice to end her life. Emmerdale.
You don't have to do it anymore.
How will you do it?
In 2011, Emmerdale caused some controversy with the assisted death of Jackson Walsh, which was shown before the watershed. But euthanasia is not an uncommon cause of death in soapland. Just 6 years earlier, the Yorkshire soap lost another major character in a similar way. Samson Dingle has been a series regular since 1995 and was always a bit of a misfit. He found happiness with his marriage to Alice Wilson, but soon afterwards discovered that she had terminal cancer.
I was blessed.
I'll make sure he never forgets you.
Alice grew steadily and visibly weaker over the following months. When her suffering became too great, she asked her husband to help her end her life. The devastating scene was simply and movingly acted. Number 7, Max is killed on his wedding day. Hollyoaks. Alex and Sam may have only had a brief time together, but spare a thought now for Hollyoaks' Max and Steph Cunningham. Their marriage was cut short to just hours in, when the groom was hit by a speeding car. Steph was naturally devastated, but she wasn't the only one. Max's most established relationship was with best friend OB. Together they were raising Max's half-brother Tom. They even won a British Soap Award for Best On-Screen Partnership. Obie and Tom were by Max's side at the end, and Max died in his best friend's arms. The memorably heartbreaking scene was nominated for Best Exit at that year's Soap Awards. Number 6, Vera comes back for Jack. Coronation Street. Jack and Vera Duckworth were one of Corrie's longest-serving and best-loved couples. They moved onto the street in 1974 and spent the next 30 years bickering, but it was clear that they loved each other underneath it all. In 2008, the characters were planning to retire to Blackpool, before Vera sadly passed away from heart failure.
Wake up. No.
But surprisingly, this wasn't the last we saw of the actress Liz Smith. When Jack died in 2010, Vera came back for him in a tender scene that saw the characters dance together one last time.
Are you waiting for me, my swan dog?
Of course I'm waiting for you.
It's rare for Corrie to venture into this kind of territory, but the moving moment felt like a fitting tribute to the beloved characters.
Oh dear.
Telephone a doctor, phone an ambulance.
I'll do that.
Has he gone?
I'm so sorry, Tyrone.
Number 5, Ethel appeals to Dot. Eastenders.
I won't be able to speak. This could be my last chance.
Ethel Skinner was an original EastEnders character, rarely seen without her constant companion, Willie the Pug. She was also a lifelong friend of EastEnders' favourite, Dot Cotton. Ethel had a great sense of fun and was often the life and soul of the party, making a contrast with the more serious Dot. But when she returned to the square in 2000, after a brief respite, Ethel was very frail.
I only want you to be happy.
I am.
It was revealed that she had terminal cancer and had come home to die. Always strictly religious, Dot struggled with Ethel's request to help her end her life. But after some soul-searching, she agreed. In an upsetting and moving scene, Ethel passes her last night in the company of her good friend. Number 4, Aidan's death. Coronation Street.
So go on, where were you then? Tactical nap or dirty kebab?
In 2018, Coronation Street tackled the subject of male suicide with the death of factory owner Aidan Connor. The Street's characters were unaware of Aidan's increasing desperation in months leading up to his death, which happened off-screen. The show worked with mental health charities to make sure that the subject was sensitively handled.
Johnny, come away now.
Shane Ward, who portrayed the character, explained that we have all heard stories like Aidan's, when people look back and wish they had spotted the signs, but it isn't always possible. If we can encourage someone who is feeling low to realise they need to talk, then we have achieved what we set out to with this story.
What's happened?
He's killed himself.
Number 3, Hayley dies in Roy's arms. Coronation Street.
Whatever happens, Roy, I don't want you to do anything. You mustn't touch this glass, my medication, any of it. Do you understand? This was my choice.
When Roy Cropper first appeared on Coronation Street, he was only intended to be a bit part. But the public took him to their hearts, and when the writers put him together with Hayley, the rest was history. Hayley was the soap's first transgender character, and she and Roy faced their share of troubles.
I've not swapped the few years we had for 1,000 of anyone else's.
They couldn't have children, but they became foster parents and a nurturing influence on many troubled young people who passed through the street. After 16 years on the soap, Hayley was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Her final storyline lasted over a period of weeks and explored both sides of the assisted death debate. She died in her husband's arms, leaving both Roy and the viewers bereft. Number 2, Lisa Dingle passes away. Emmerdale.
I'm the richest man alive, because I've got everything I could ever need. And it's right there, on that sofa.
The Dingles are a fixture in the world of Emmerdale, and have been since the early days of the soap. Lisa and Zach were at the centre of the family for so long that it came as a shock to viewers when they separated in 2015, but the pair couldn't be kept apart for long. 4 years later, and after some time away from the village, Lisa revealed that she was dying. Soon after, Zach proposed for a second time, and they were married within the week.
I love you, Lisa.
After the wedding, Lisa popped home to get changed and fell asleep on the sofa. When Zach came back to check on her, he discovered that she had passed away. For him, it would always be too soon.
This is too soon. This is too soon, Lisa.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 1, Steve and Leanne turn off their son's life support. Coronation Street. The death of a child isn't a subject that soaps often tackle. When it is broached, as in this Corey storyline from 2020, it's important that the writers and actors take the utmost care. Oliver was the son of series regulars Steve McDonald and Leanne Battersby. He had been diagnosed with mitochondrial disease and his condition deteriorated quickly. Eventually, he was put onto a life support machine.
Hey, honey sunshine. Sorry.
His parents were told that he would not ever be able to breathe on his own and advised to terminate his life support to prevent prolonged suffering. The final scenes at the hospital had viewers in tears as Leanne and Steve said their goodbyes to Oliver and sang to him as he passed away.
Hey, my sunshine.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.